Growing up believing she was black, Fauna was adopted at birth by Jimmy Lee Greenwade, a working-class African-American woman in Reno, Nevada. Her birth certificate falsely identified her father as a Negro, which influenced her adoptive placement. As a result, Fauna grew up in a predominantly black community, believing she was biracial. This belief shaped her identity, and she faced a unique set of challenges in navigating her place within the black community. Her light skin became a distinguishing feature, earning her the nickname White Patty among her adoptive family and community. This created a dual identity for Fauna. On the one hand, she was embraced by her adoptive family and church, but on the other, she faced scrutiny and, at times, prejudice from both black and white individuals who struggled to accept her racial ambiguity. Despite these challenges, Fauna developed a strong sense of resilience and faith thanks to the guidance of her adoptive grandmother. Her upbringing in the African American community profoundly shaped her worldview and cultural identity, fostering a deep connection to the values and struggles of the people around her. At the age of 19, Fauna began to unravel the truth about her biological roots. Her journey to understand her origins led to the shocking revelation that she was not black, but white, and the granddaughter of George Hodel, a man with a dark and disturbing legacy. Her biological mother, Tamar Hodel, had given her up for adoption shortly after birth to protect her from the trauma and scandal surrounding the Hodel family. Learning about her white heritage and the harrowing history of her biological family was a deeply disorienting experience for Fauna. She discovered that her grandfather, George Hodel, was not only accused of abusing Tamar, but was also a suspect in the infamous Black Dahlia murder case. These revelations forced Fauna to confront the stark contrast between the loving yet challenging upbringing she had experienced in a black community and the troubling legacy of her biological family. The discovery of her true parentage profoundly impacted Fauna's sense of self. She had spent her entire life identifying as biracial, deeply embedded in the culture and struggles of the black community. Learning that she was biologically white disrupted the foundation of her identity and created a sense of loss and displacement. She struggled to reconcile her upbringing with the reality of her heritage, as well as the trauma and scandal associated with her biological family. Fauna's experiences reflect the complexities of identity and belonging. Her story illustrates how societal constructs of race and family history can shape an individual's sense of self. It also highlights the resilience required to confront painful truths and redefine one's identity, considering new revelations. Through her memoir, One Day, She'll Darken, Fauna chronicled this journey of self-discovery, shedding light on the challenges and triumphs of navigating a multifaceted identity. Despite the pain and confusion of uncovering her biological roots, Fauna's story ultimately became one of empowerment and healing, inspiring others to confront and embrace their own complexities. Her life serves as a testament to the strength of the human spirit in overcoming adversity and finding one's place in the world. Fauna Hodel's life story is a poignant lens through which broader societal identity issues can be examined, including race, family legacy, belonging, and resilience in the face of systemic prejudice and trauma. Fauna Hodel's life is a haunting tale of secrets, identity, and resilience, deeply intertwined with one of the most infamous unsolved murders in American history, the Black Dahlia case. Her story is a complex web of adoption, racial identity, family trauma, and a relentless search for truth. Fauna was born on August 1, 1951, to Tamar Hodel, the teenage daughter of George Hodel, a prominent Los Angeles doctor and socialite. Tamar's life was marked by abuse and scandal, as she accused her father of incest, leading to a highly publicized trial in 1949. Although George Hodel was acquitted, the trial left a lasting shadow over the family. Tamar, unable to care for her newborn daughter, gave Fauna up for adoption. Fauna's adoption was unconventional and shrouded in mystery. Her birth certificate falsely listed her father as an unknown Negro, leading to her adoption by an African American family in Reno, Nevada. Raised by Jimmy Lee Greenwade, a black maid, Fauna grew up believing she was biracial. Her adoptive family nicknamed her White Patty due to her light skin, and she faced prejudice from both black and white communities. Despite the challenges, her adoptive grandmother instilled in her a strong sense of faith and resilience. It wasn't until Fauna was 19 that she discovered the truth about her heritage. Her journey to uncover her biological roots revealed the dark secrets of the Hodel family. George Hodel, her grandfather, was not only accused of incest, but was also a prime suspect in the Black Dahlia murder. The Black Dahlia case involved the gruesome killing of Elizabeth Short, whose mutilated body was found in Los Angeles in 1947. George Hodel's connections to the case were later explored by his son, Steve Hodel, a retired LAPD detective, who presented compelling evidence linking his father to the crime. Fauna's discovery of her lineage was a turning point in her life. She grappled with the weight of her family's dark past while striving to forge her own identity. Her story inspired the memoir, One Day, She'll Darken, The Mysterious Beginnings of Fauna Hodel, which later became the basis for the television series I Am the Night. The series delves into Fauna's quest for truth and her connection to the Black Dahlia case. Fauna was adopted by Jimmy Lee Greenwade, an African-American maid, and was given the name Patricia Ann Greenwade. Raised in a predominantly Black community, Fauna grew up believing she was biracial. Her adoptive family nicknamed her White Patty due to her light skin, and she faced challenges related to her racial identity and acceptance within her community. The adoption process and the circumstances surrounding it were deeply tied to the societal norms and prejudices of the time. Fauna's adoptive mother provided her with a loving home, but the truth about her heritage remained hidden until Fauna began to uncover her biological roots as a young adult. This journey of discovery revealed the dark secrets of the Hodel family and shaped Fauna's understanding of her identity and place in the world. Discovering her biological roots had a profound and transformative effect on Fauna Hodel's identity. Growing up, she believed she was biracial, raised by an African-American family in Reno, Nevada. Her adoptive mother, Jimmy Lee Greenwade, instilled strong values in her, but Fauna faced challenges of belonging and acceptance due to her light skin and racial ambiguity. Her adoptive family often referred to her as White Patty, which shaped her sense of self in a predominantly Black community. When Fauna was 19, she began to unravel the truth about her heritage. This journey was sparked by a desire to understand her origins and the circumstances of her adoption. She eventually discovered that she was not biracial, but white, born to Tamar Hodel, the teenage daughter of George Hodel, a wealthy and influential doctor. Alongside this revelation came the discovery of her family's dark history, including her grandfather's alleged involvement in the Black Dahlia murder and accusations of incest. This newfound knowledge challenged Fauna's sense of identity. Her entire life, she had identified as a part of the Black community, and her upbringing had deeply influenced her worldview. Learning that her roots lay in a family mired in scandal, trauma, and abuse forced her to reevaluate not only who she was, but also where she belonged. This created an emotional and psychological struggle as she grappled with feelings of betrayal, confusion, and a need to reconcile her past. Despite the emotional toll, Fauna's discovery also became a turning point in her life. It fueled a quest for truth and inspired her to take control of her narrative. She wrote a memoir, One Day, She'll Darken, The Mysterious Beginnings of Fauna Hodel, which detailed her journey of self-discovery and the shocking secrets of her family. The process of uncovering her roots and sharing her story allowed Fauna to find strength and purpose. She used her experiences to inspire others, becoming an advocate for resilience and self-empowerment. Ultimately, while her biological heritage brought pain and complexity, it also gave Fauna the opportunity to embrace her individuality beyond the confines of her family history. Her courage in facing the disturbing truths of her lineage remains a testament to her determination to define herself on her own terms. Fauna's adoption by an African-American family and her upbringing in a Black community highlight the complexities of race and identity. Her assumption that she was biracial shaped her early understanding of herself and her place in society. This reflects broader issues of racial identity and how society's constructs of race influence individuals' lives. Her later realization of her white heritage underscored the socially imposed significance of race and how it can intersect with personal and familial identity. Fauna's struggle to belong within the Black community due to her light skin, coupled with the discovery of her white lineage, illustrates the challenges of navigating cultural and racial boundaries. This mirrors the experiences of many individuals who live between worlds and struggle to define their place within societal structures that often demand clear labels. Family legacy and generational trauma. Fauna's experiences are deeply tied to the dark secrets of the Hodel family. The abuse, scandal, and unresolved violence in her biological family reflect the far-reaching effects of generational trauma. Her journey to reconcile with her family's past mirrors the struggles of countless individuals who grapple with the shadows of their ancestry while seeking to create their own identity independent of their origins. Fauna's identity was also shaped by the generational trauma within the Hodel family. Her biological lineage, marked by abuse, scandal, and her grandfather's alleged crimes, intersected with her personal quest for identity and truth. The legacy of her grandfather, George Hodel, and the abuse her biological mother Tamar endured, created a backdrop of trauma that Fauna had to navigate as she sought to define herself outside of this dark history. As a woman, Fauna faced societal expectations and limitations tied to gender. Her story, particularly her biological mother's experiences of abuse and exploitation, highlights the intersection of gender and power dynamics within her family and society at large. These dynamics influence not only the decisions surrounding her adoption but also the challenges she faced in reclaiming her narrative. Growing up in a Black community with light skin, Fauna experienced marginalization and prejudice from both Black and white communities. This dual experience underscores the intersectionality of race, class, and identity. Her unique position as a person raised in a marginalized community, while later confronting her privileged biological roots, illustrates the complexities of navigating intersecting social hierarchies. My name is Penny Flick, with Kreep-ish. I'll be back with more stories that challenge our perceptions, question reality, and keep us peering into the darkness of history. Comment below on your thoughts. What stories intrigue you the most? What mysteries do you want to uncover? Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, the truth is often stranger than fiction.